Thank you so much for joining us for CBN NewsWatch. I'm Ephraim Graham. Ahead today, taking on sex abuse inside the church. The Southern Baptist Convention taking action against sexual abuse in the church.
I finally felt validated and acknowledged for the first time in 24 years since my abuse occurred.
We'll tell you what the Baptists are doing after a report showed years of abuse by church leaders which were covered up. Get ready for higher interest rates on everything from credit cards to mortgages, as the Federal Reserve is set to raise interest rates to fight inflation. President Biden blames Republicans for higher prices, but the GOP says the problem was Democratic spending.
The problem is Republicans in Congress are doing everything they can to stop my plans to bring down costs on ordinary families.
We said it was going to lead to inflation. It did.
Is former President Donald Trump a kingmaker? He's endorsing some Republican candidates in this primary season, with most of them winning. We'll take a look at his record and the latest results in a key Senate primary Tuesday. And rock bottom for a rock star after being on top of the music world for years.
A moment that was the bottom for me, which turned me, was my 4-year-old daughter, who found me passed out in my studio couch.
Longtime drummer of Hootie and the Blowfish, Jim Sonefeld, tells his powerful story in his own words. See how a moment led him on a path back to Jesus and the Bible. All those stories and more today on CBN NewsWatch.
This is CBN NewsWatch.
We begin this half hour with the Southern Baptists taking action against sex abuse in the church at the denomination's annual meeting. This move comes after a recent report found top Southern Baptist leaders stonewalled against charges of abuse and mistreated survivors for years. CBN's Heather Sells brings us the story now from Anaheim, California.
Southern Baptists have sent a loud message to a watching world: no more business as usual. They have approved a new president who has signaled support for abuse reform, and they've agreed to start a database to track predators in their churches.
Now there's action. There's something tangible.
And that led to relief, hugs, and happy tears for abuse survivors.
I finally felt validated and acknowledged for the first time in 24 years since my abuse occurred.
It's such a freeing feeling to think that maybe we can begin to do the work that we've always wanted to do, which is to be able to hold abusers to account, to be able to keep them from moving from church to church and keep people safe.
A majority of Southern Baptist representatives approved the database, which will serve as a resource to help local churches avoid hiring abusers. Opponents voiced concern reform measures could distract from the mission of evangelism. Sexual Abuse Task Force Chair Pastor Bruce Frank pushed back.
Not only is protecting the sheep from the wolves part of the mission, how are you going to tell a watching world that Jesus loves them, Jesus died for them, Jesus rescued them, when his church won't even do their very best to protect them?
Frank told the packed hall of almost 7,500 that survivors were the real heroes. Task Force member Rachel Denhollander reminded many have long advocated for reform.
Because they didn't give up, those ballots went up today. And what I hope history looks at is every survivor looking back and goes, that's me being believed, and that's the impact my voice can have.
In a surprise appearance, elder statesman Rick Warren called on Southern Baptists to stop infighting and focus on the main thing.
As Western culture grows more dark, more evil, more secular, we have to decide, are we going to treat each other as allies or adversaries?
That task will fall on the new president, Bart Barber, who many believe can unite those with different views on social issues.
The new president will outline more of his plans this week. He is expected to play a key role in moving abuse reform forward in the Southern Baptist Convention. Reporting in Anaheim, California, Heather Sells, CBN News.
Get ready for higher interest rates on credit cards, mortgages, and more as the Federal Reserve is set to raise rates today to try to bring inflation down. President Biden is blaming Vladimir Putin and Republicans for inflation, but the public is holding the president responsible. White House correspondent Abigail Robertson has this story.
On Tuesday, President Biden put the blame on Russian President Vladimir Putin for the rising costs of gas and goods Americans are seeing around the country, and said addressing these issues is a top priority.
I'm doing everything in my power to blunt Putin's gas price hike.
Biden says the Russia-Ukraine war caused food prices to increase too.
And I'm working closely with our European partners to get 20 million tons of grain locked in Ukraine out onto the market.
And he argues his policies are working.
The problem is, Republicans in Congress are doing everything they can to stop my plans to bring down costs on ordinary families. That's why my plan is not finished and why the results aren't finished either. Jobs are back, but prices are still too high.
Republicans disagree, claiming Biden's policies like the American Rescue Plan are punishing hardworking Americans.
We said it was going to lead to inflation. It did. We said it was going to create a labor shortage. It did.
According to a new Forbes Advisor survey, 2 out of 3 Americans say they're rating their savings accounts as consumer prices spike.
Inflation is costing the average American household an extra $460 per month for that gas, their food, their groceries.
Economists fear a recession is coming as the S&P 500 enters a bear market and the Federal Reserve weighs a substantial interest rate hike. Reporting from Washington, Abigail Robertson, CBN News.
The White House has confirmed President Biden will travel next month to Israel and Saudi Arabia for July 13th through the 16th. As Chris Mitchell reports from Jerusalem, the visit comes at a time not only of major economic problems for the U.S., but also a serious political crisis in Israel.
White House Press Secretary Karine Jean-Pierre briefed the White House press corps on Air Force One. With gas prices at historic levels, she downplayed the suggestion that President Biden's visit is about convincing Saudi Arabia to produce more oil.
While energy security is one important issue, it's hardly the only one. Saudi Arabia is the chair of OPEC Plus, as you all know, and it's the largest exporter. Of course, we discuss energy with the Saudi government.
President Biden's relationship with Saudi Arabia has been strained. He released a CIA report blaming the murder of journalist Jamal Khashoggi on the Crown Prince, and during the presidential campaign, called the Desert Kingdom a pariah.
Think about it. He calls them a pariah, says they have very little redeeming social value, but all of a sudden we need him. So please, 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 pump more oil at cheaper prices, he goes to say, right?
Jason Greenblatt, one of the architects behind the Abraham Accords, hopes the White House realizes the role Saudi Arabia plays in the region.
I think they called them a strategic partner in today's White House release about the trip. Saudi Arabia is much more than a strategic partner. They're a key ally. They're key to stability in the Middle East. They're just as Israel is important to the region and its stability, so is Saudi Arabia.
The president is also visiting Israel, and it's been reported he will also visit Eastern Jerusalem. Former Israeli ambassador to the UN, Danny Danon, says that would be unprecedented.
Something that never happened during a presidential visit. Usually presidents came to Jerusalem and then they went to Ramallah to visit the leader of the Palestinian Authority. But I think it would be a grave mistake if some radical elements around the president will try to drag him to a political dispute with Israel by visiting Palestinian institutions in East Jerusalem.
The Palestinian Authority demands that Eastern Jerusalem will be the capital of a future Palestinian state. Danon says Biden's visit could give Palestinians false hopes about the future of Jerusalem.
The sooner the Palestinians will realize that Jerusalem will stay united forever, the better it will be for them. It is a reality check for them. So let's move on and deal with the other issues that are on the table.
Biden's visit also comes while Prime Minister Naftali Bennett's coalition government is going through a political crisis. His coalition continues to unravel, and it's possible the government may fall even before President Biden arrives. Chris Mitchell, CBN News, Jerusalem.
Coming up, former President Donald Trump playing the role of kingmaker in Republican primaries. But how are his endorsements working out? We'll take a look when we come back. A major victory for Republicans in a special congressional election in Texas Tuesday, as GOP candidate Mayra Flores captured a seat that had been held by a Democrat who left Congress for the private sector. She'll fill out the rest of his term. She won by a decisive margin in a district that is 85% Hispanic and traditionally Democratic. Republicans are hoping to make inroads among Hispanic voters in the midterm elections this fall as part of their goal of taking back the House of Representatives. And in Nevada, former state attorney General Adam Laxalt won the Republican primary to run for the Senate. Laxalt is one of the GOP's main hopes for taking a Democratic seat this fall so Republicans can recapture the Senate. Former President Donald Trump endorsed him, one of his many key endorsements this year, as he's played a key role in the GOP primaries. CBN's Matt Galka takes a look at the impact he's had on the races.
The primary wins and the losses are starting to add up for former President Donald Trump. And while his word still goes very far in the Republican Party, his king-making ability might not be as ironclad this primary season.
You're going to send Dr. Oz to fight for you in the U.S. Senate? I want to pick somebody that's going to win, and this man is going to win. Come on up, Jake. There is no rhino in America who has thrown in her lot with the radical left more than Liz Cheney. Terrible. She has gone crazy.
The former president has not shied away from weighing in on some of the country's most pivotal races. And the question over how much influence he still brings to the table continues to be thoroughly dissected. One clear conclusion is that although Trump's blessing hasn't led to automatic wins, that doesn't mean it's not helpful. Trump picked up a big win early in the primary season with his endorsement of Ohio Senate candidate J.D. Vance. Vance was floundering in a crowded GOP field before Trump's welcome involvement likely carried Vance across the finish line for the primary win.
I've absolutely got to thank the 45th, the President of the United States, Donald J. Trump.
Come November, the Ohio race will be seen as highly significant because the winner could go a long way towards determining control of the Senate chamber on Capitol Hill. He picked up more wins in Arkansas, North Carolina, and Georgia with Senate candidates he endorsed, but Pennsylvania's high-profile race put his influence to the test. Trump's backing of doctor-turned-television celebrity Mehmet Oz in the Pennsylvania Senate primary drew some criticism from voters.
I really think he's getting some bad information on that.
It's too Hollywood. I don't trust it. I could never know enough about him realistically to know if that is who I would want to vote for. I couldn't do it.
Oz found himself locked in a dead heat with opponent David McCormick. It led to a recount lasting into June, with McCormick eventually conceding. Then came a deja vu moment when the former president saw a repeat of 2020 defeat in Georgia. Trump backed challengers to incumbents Governor Brian Kemp and Secretary of State Brad Raffensperger. Political observers saw those endorsements as revenge plays, since both Kemp and Raffensperger went against Trump's calls to challenge Joe Biden's 2020 win in the state. After both won their primaries against Trump's preferred candidates, Cole Musio, the president of the Frontline Policy Council, saw it as a move-on moment for Georgia voters.
All we're talking about is yesterday. We're losing the fight today, and we're certainly going to lose it tomorrow. And so we've got to focus on principles. We got to get back to that space. And look, Donald Trump is still a very popular figure in the Republican Party and the conservative movement. He had a great 4 years. But I think the people around this country and the conservative movement are looking and saying, look, we can appreciate him without being obedient to him.
Still, Trump has more wins than losses, and that record is definitely important for the former president, according to CBN's chief political analyst, David Brody.
He does care about the win-loss record for sure, but let's make no mistake. I mean, Donald Trump is powerful within the Republican Party. There's not even a question about that. And this has nothing to do with any sort of staying power in 2024. In other words, for people to interpret these results and say, well, wait a minute, maybe his election 2020 stuff isn't going to quite work in 2024. I mean, that's hogwash.
More primaries remain as the midterm elections approach in November, with the former president expected to play a big role down the stretch.
What I'm seeing is that Trump's popularity within the Republican Party isn't easily transferable to other candidates. I think President Trump himself is still popular, and voters are thankful for various things that he has done or continues to do. But that doesn't necessarily mean that Republican voters are looking to Trump to tell them exactly what they should do and who they should vote for in every race.
It's worth keeping tabs on how many of Trump's candidates voters are supporting, because it could indicate how much support he has as the former president potentially eyes another bid at the White House. Matt Gelka, CBN News.
Still ahead, a rock star who hit rock bottom, so what turned him around and started him on a path to faith? We'll hear from Jim Sonefeld's powerful story in his own words in our Studio 5 conversation right after this. Welcome back to CBN NewsWatch. Hold My Hand, Only Want to Be With You, Let Her Cry. Those are all hit songs from the band Hootie and the Blowfish, and its longtime drummer had a hand in helping to write them. Well, now Jim Sonefeld is writing and sharing his band story in a new memoir, Swimming with the Blowfish.
With a little love and some tenderness, we'll walk upon the water, we'll rise above the mist, with a little peace and some harmony. We'll take the world together, we'll take them by the hand.
It's called Swimming with the Blowfish, Hootie, healing, and one hell of a ride. I wanted to say something that might be helpful to people out there. They get to take a look behind the scenes at the band and how we got to the place of sort of popularity in the mid-90s. It also talks about the difficulties, and I want people to know that no matter what you think of someone in the media or in the entertainment world, it's rarely all of the story.
Describe the ride for you. What's it been like?
Like any ride, or like any good ride, it certainly has had ups and downs. And we worked hard for 5 years playing clubs and toiling away at our craft. And suddenly, in the end of 1994, things shot skyward. And we enjoyed 5 solid years of being at the top and really getting to travel the world, get to do some wonderful things in different places and having a lot of fans. But that ride also began to come down after 2000, and I was caught up in really the denial that our career was sliding down, and that had some emotional imbalances that I tried to fix with chemicals. And even after friends began being worried about me, it took me probably 4 years to come to a realization and a reality that I was no longer in control, and I needed to turn my life over.
So struggle with addiction for 4 years?
Yeah, it was drugs and alcohol, which led to bad decision making, which led to bad places. It's a common story, but I thought I had control over it, and that was my main problem, is thinking I was a man who was wise in his own eyes.
What was rock bottom for the rock star?
A moment that was the bottom for me, which turned me, was my 4-year-old daughter, who found me passed out in my studio couch one Sunday morning and just said a few words that struck me as profound and perhaps providential. She said, "Dad, what are you doing?" And she looked at me with all the cuteness of a 4-year-old. "What are you doing, Dad? Why are you out here and the family's in there having fun? What are you doing?" And as she strolled away frustrated, I was faced with those words. What am I doing? And I could do nothing else but look upwards and say, oh my gosh, I don't know what I'm doing, do I? And it was that day I turned for the first time to ask someone for help, someone for guidance, tell me where to go, tell me what to do. And that person I asked told me a little bit about his spiritual program, which I ended up following, and it led me back to Christ, it led me back to the Bible, it led me to a transformational life.
Share for me practically, how does that look? How do you begin to turn things around and get back up?
The first bit of that journey was practicing some good old-fashioned self-honesty. I needed to be around people that could help me understand what humility is. And so I started working with the 12-step model that helps a lot of recoverers get through not only chemical addiction, but bad thinking and that's how I started. I started getting honest, and you know, it has worked for me. I didn't like what I saw at all times, but maybe that was the point of it. I needed to face what I didn't like and acknowledge it and move forward responsibly and act.
We're hearing how it impacted your young family. How did this impact or the dynamics play out in your musical family?
We still remain a band and are still a band because they have allowed me to live out my spirituality. They've just been wonderful. They've even allowed me to bring my more spiritual music on the Hootie stage, which is a fantastic acknowledgement to say, hey, we support this journey you're on, and it's a story that maybe will touch anyone's heart.
Swimming with the Blowfish is available right now for pre-order, and Jim's new album, the solo album, Remember Tomorrow, will be available next month. Some of the singles for that project are already in rotation for you to get out and grab. Be sure to join us tonight on Studio 5 and get ready to laugh. We've got two stand-up comedians with us this week. Mark Christopher Lawrence and Larry Wilmore are with us. Both have roles in films worth seeing right now. And we have a look at a new British comedy. It is called Brian and Charles. You can catch it all on an all-new edition of Studio 5 tonight at 8:30 Eastern. Of course, you can find it on the CBN News channel or on the CBN News app. We'll be right back with an encouraging word for your Wednesday. Stay with us. Welcome back to CBN NewsWatch. It's time now for your Wednesday word. And today's word is, get this, fire. Know this, you may go through the fire of pain and struggle, but with God, you will indeed go through it, and the flames will not destroy you, just like the Hebrew boys back in the Bible days. So I encourage you, don't bow, don't bend. You will not break. You're actually built for this. You'll go through the fire, but you'll go through it and not be burned. That is going to do it for this edition of CBN NewsWatch. I'll remind you, you can always find more of our news programs on the CBN News channel at any time, as well as online at cbnnews.com. We'd love to know what you think about any of the stories you've seen today. You can email us. The address is right there at the bottom of your screen. That's newswatch@cbn.com. And of course, you can always reach out and touch us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. We certainly would love to hear from you. We look forward to seeing you right back here, same time tomorrow. Goodbye.